Hello everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of Dayspring Discussions. I'm your host, Sean McGahee, and this is a show where we talk about movies, TV, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books. If you geek out about it, we're going to talk about it. You can listen to Dayspring Discussions on iTunes, YouTube, Podomatic, and Patreon, and contact Dayspring Discussions on the Facebook group, Twitter account, and dayspringdiscussions@gmail.com. Well, happy Tuesday everyone. Hope you all are getting your week started off right. Guys, it's a beautiful day here in Austin, Texas, and I can't wait to get it started. So, let's get going on it. Okay, first thing on the agenda, a little bit of housekeeping stuff here. Sunday night, we had the 2019 Emmys, and Game of Thrones did pretty good for itself. It won Best Drama, which is really the coveted award for the evening, and Peter Dinklage took home his fourth Emmy statue for Best Supporting Actor. Can't say it is not well deserved for him. I'm very surprised. Season 4 of the show I thought was his best performance, and he didn't win that year, which I thought was a crock. But anyway, Game of Thrones, it's over, guys. It's, done. And despite how you feel about the last season of Game of Thrones, no one will doubt that it was an epic show that was forever cemented in the television pop culture or our culture in general. Now, of course, we do have several spin-offs that are in the works, allegedly. I know there's one that's filming right now. So the world is just getting started. Much like with Star Wars, where we thought it might have been over after Return of the Jedi, it's not, okay? When you build such a rich world that, George R.R. Martin or George Lucas creates, there's so much to play with, so many ways you can go with it, and really the world of Westeros is just getting started, given the fact that how popular the show was, how popular the world is. It's no doubt that Westeros tales are going to be told for many, many years now. So while the show is over, the world will live on, and that's fine with me. But Game of Thrones, I enjoyed the last season. I didn't love it, but I enjoyed it. So it was nice to see it win for Best Drama. And that's usually what happens too in these things, where a show where they do their final season, usually that's when they win a lot of awards. I mean, I remember Breaking Bad the last year. They were, winning a lot of awards. I think that was the year I was talking about with Dinklage, where I thought he should have won. But what's his name? Aaron Paul? The second lead on that, I think he won Best Supporting Actor that year because it was the last season of Breaking Bad. I think it probably won Best Drama. That's usually what happens when a show is in its final season or has its final season. That's usually when it wraps stuff up, if it's a popular show, of course, or such like Game of Thrones. So no doubt I wasn't surprised that it won Best Drama. But if you caught the Emmys, what did you think about it? What did you think of Michelle Williams' speech? Everyone's talking about that. My former Dawson's Creek alumni, I got to give a hands out to her. I watched a little bit of that mini series that she was on, The Voss Verdon. Totally well deserved. I didn't finish all of it, but it was totally well deserved. The only show of the Emmys I didn't watch that I wanted to was Chernobyl, and I know that won Best Miniseries. I, based on what I've seen, would have liked to seen it gone to Netflix's When They See Us, but I'm sure when I watch Chernobyl, I'll agree that it was well deserved for its Emmy win. But anyway, guys, fire back. Let me know what you think about any of the winners about Emmys 2019, and of course, Game of Thrones. How do you feel that it's now kind of over, put in the books, it's won its awards? What do you think is going to happen from there? What do you think of Gwendolyn Christie's dress? What was that? Because honestly, she looked like a tall Jesus, in my opinion. But let me know what you think, guys, and we'll talk about it. Okay, next up, now that housekeeping is done, let's get to the main topics. I got 4 on the agenda today, guys. So let's jump in right here. Yesterday, Disney released another trailer for their upcoming Frozen 2 film. This is, of course, the sequel to the very popular and highly successful Frozen by Disney that came out several years ago and inspired a bunch of little girls to dress quite elegantly than they might have. I tell you, you go to Disney and you got a lot of girls out there dressing like Anna and Elsa. I'm sure next month for Halloween, you're still going to see a lot, which, by the way, I've thought of my Halloween costume for this year. It's very simple and basic, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. So I think you're going to get a little kick out of it. But anyway, back to Frozen. We got a new trailer. I believe this is the third trailer. We got a little bit of a teaser trailer, the one where it was just Elsa going against the waves. Then we got another trailer, and now this is going to be the third one that we've gotten. The film comes out November 22nd, and I gotta say, it looks good to me. I mean, honestly, when Frozen first came out, I wasn't a huge fan of it. I was like, okay, well, it's a girly movie. I get it, whatever. But when you sit down and watch it, it's a very entertaining film. Not one of my favorites, but very entertaining. The first film, kind of what got me was that scene between Kristoff and Anna when they're riding in the sleigh, and it's that quick, witty, snappy dialogue. Anything with quick, witty, snappy dialogue, I'm all about. So that's my favorite scene from the first one. Of course, the music is hypnotic from the first film. Elsa, I gotta say, if it's Anna or Elsa, I go with Elsa. That's just my opinion. I like Elsa a little bit better. And it always kind of disturbed me, or I was always curious where she got her powers, because no one else really has powers in this world. But it turns out in this second one, we might actually find out. Because based off this trailer, we find that there's an enchanted land that's been closed off to everyone. And now our main characters have to go find that land to save Arendelle and maybe get some idea of what's going on with Elsa, where she got her powers, what happened. So, we're in the land of fantasy, which is, what this show talks about. So it's up our alley. You can say, oh, it's just a Disney movie. It's a pretty good story, guys. I mean, come on now. It's pretty decent. This one looks like it's going to be pretty decent too. Definitely going to take my daughter to go see this when it comes out. I think it's going to do very good business. Probably re-inspire a new group of girls to start dressing like Anna and Elsa. And I'm sure they'll have new dresses for them to buy, which parents can buy them many, many other dresses. And that's how it works, guys. Merchandising. That's what happens. But anyway, one thing about the Frozen 2 trailers too, there was the line in the last trailer that I really loved. That was the one where the little rock troll was like, we always feared that Elsa's powers were too much for the world. Now we must believe or hope that they are enough. Really great line, really solid piece of dialogue in that trailer. And in this one, the one that stands out to me, which I think will stand out for everyone, is the one where Elsa's talking to Anna, and Elsa's like, you can't always just follow me into the fire. And Anna says, then quit running into fire. And that piece of dialogue, I think, describes everything. Where in the first film, Anna goes after her sister because she's in trouble, and then trouble ensues. With this one, of course, she's following her sister again, and trouble keeps happening, and Anna really wants to protect her sister, granted the fact that she's the one without the powers. But anyway, I think this is going to focus again on the relationship between the sisters, where you have that first film where Anna gets the curse, and the only way to save her is true love's embrace. So at first she thought it was Hans. He turned out to be a douchebag. You thought it was Kristoff. But it's only when she saved her sister and her sister, embraced her, that we realized it wasn't, the love between, people in love. It was the love between two siblings, the very special kind that, is true love in its own right. So I think they're going to continue to go with that relationship, hopefully progress that forward. And again, it's something a little different compared to some other movies where they focus on a love story in the traditional sense. This is about love between two siblings. So I think that's great. And I love, that piece of dialogue. I love the one from the last one. So that alone, as a person who, has a brother, I love him very much. I get it. So I'm excited for this. I can't believe I'm actually excited for this, but I'm going to go check out Frozen 2. What did you think about it, guys? Fire back in the social media groups and, of course, Gmail account. Let me know about this newest trailer from Frozen 2. Oh, which, by the way, last part, that one of the last shots of the film, Elsa's riding like a water horse. That's freaking cool. I want to know what that's all about. That looks totally cool. Sorry, I almost forgot about it, but that was freaking cool, and I can't wait to see that. Okay, sticking with Disney just for another sec, briefly I want to talk about Disney Plus. So it is officially launched for pre-orders for everyone, okay? Before D23, they had the special pricing where you could save money if you sign up for a 3-year contract. Then they opened it up to the public about a month ago or so. Now it's open for everyone, regular pricing. Comes out to $7 a month or $70 for the whole year. Pretty much you're saving, what? I think a couple bucks if you sign up for the year. If I'm doing my math right, which I probably am not because I'm not that smart. But anyway, you're saving a couple bucks that way. Me, I have Hulu, so I'm waiting for the package they talked about where you get Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus for about $13. Now, the problem with that, too, is they said they're not going to do the ad-free Hulu version, which I didn't think about because I do have ad-free Hulu for it. And then they also said that they can do where if you have Hulu, you can just do Disney Plus as an add-on, much like you can add on HBO or Showtime. You can do that as well. So I'm going to do one of those two options, pretty much is what it is. I'm not sure which one. More than likely, I'll probably end up going with the add-on version of it. Unless, like I said, if I can get ad-free with the Hulu, ESPN Plus, and Disney Plus package, I'll go that route because I signed up for ESPN Plus because it's football season. Me and my wife like to watch Monday Night Football. $5 a month, whatever. I can also watch maybe a couple hockey games on there. So, and then of course Peyton's Place. Peyton Manning, my favorite football player of all time. He is the football god to me. I started watching his little shorts that they have only on ESPN Plus. So of course I'm going to become accustomed to that, and I'm going to have to, figure that out. But I'm hoping there is some version where I can get pay a couple bucks more and get the Hulu adless version when I sign up for the package. If not, I'll do Disney Plus. But what are you guys going to do? Are you just going to do Disney Plus? Are you going to do Hulu add-ons? Are you going to do the package deal with ESPN Plus? Let me know, and then what do you think I should do too? Fire back, of course. Let me know what you think. Okay, guys, moving on now. Looks like we're stepping into the DC world. I'm going to talk about that pretty much for the rest of the show. DC-related news is what we got. So let me start off with just a little appetizer here. Warner Brothers has announced its voice cast for their upcoming animated film Superman Red Son. Now, this is based off the comic book miniseries by Mark Millar and artist Dave Johnson from 2003. And the premise of this is that Superman, instead of ending or landing in Kansas in the 1930s, he ends up in the Soviet Union, goes up to be kind of the Cold War champion, a dictator in Russia. And then, of course, we see everyone kind of form around that, such as how it shapes Batman and Green Lantern and Wonder Woman against that world. It's a very interesting Elseworld storyline, very famous Elseworld storyline as well. Superman is so pinnacle to what the American dream is as far as, truth, justice, being an immigrant himself, and just, the values that America is supposed to be. Seeing him where, he's on the opposite of kind of living that communist lifestyle is kind of, different, and it was very interesting. It's a very good story. If you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend it. So with this one, I knew it wasn't going to be in the same continuity as their current DC movie cinematic universe, the animated cinematic universe, so I knew they wouldn't use the same voice casting as that. I was hoping they'd go and maybe get some of the original casting from the old Bruce Timm animated series, but that just didn't seem like it's going to happen, which I'm fine with. But so anyway, Superman, we got Jason Isaacs, better known as Lucius Malfoy. He's going to be voicing Superman in this. You have Amy Acker, who was in The Gifted, and of course one of my favorite shows, Angel. She's going to be voicing Lois Lane. Vanessa Marshall, most known as Hera from Star Wars Rebels, she's going to be voicing Wonder Woman. Phil Morris is going to be James Olsen. You got Roger Craig Smith as Batman and Paul Williams as Brainiac. Along with that, of course, you're going to have Green Lantern, both Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan. And Phil Lamar, who voiced Jon Stewart in the original Bruce Timm Justice League animated series, is coming back for Jon Stewart. So that's cool. The film is set to be released in June, I believe. What is it? It is. I had it here and I lost it. So I think it's June actually when it comes out. Hold on. Let me IMDb it real quick so I can get an exact date before I start rambling on. Bear with me. Superman. Red Sun. It doesn't give me a date. Okay. Well, as of right now, IMDb does not have a date. I'm pretty sure it was somewhere in June, maybe. I don't know. So anyway, sorry guys, but anyway, yeah. So you do, of course, have this coming out. Good voice casting, good storyline. I'm all about it. I just want to give you guys a heads up about that. I wish they had, voice casting from either the Bruce Timm voice casting or the newer updated ones, which I'm cool with that too. But given the fact that it's not going to be in the continuity as the same ones we have right now, I'm fine with it. I'm still looking forward to what's coming up in the DC animated movie universe. You do have a Wonder Woman animated coming out where Rosario Dawson is coming back as Wonder Woman. And then you have the Justice League one, which is going to be based off the Darkseid War, which is really good. I really like that storyline by Jeff Johns, so I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see that. That should be pretty cool. But Red Sun, of course, I'm excited to see how this adaptation will go as well. Sam Liu is going to be the director on it. Now, he's the one that has directed and done great films such as, Justice League versus the Fatal Five. He did The Death of Superman, Suicide Squad, Hell to Pay, which I believe is better than the live-action Suicide Squad movie. Among other things, Batman and Harley, Teen Titans Judas Contract. A great director, animated-wise. He's been in the DC animated department for a long time now, so the fact that he's behind it gives me faith in this project. I like the casting. What do you guys think of it? What do you think of the original source material, Superman Red Sun? Are you going to check out this animated movie, and what do you think about the voice casting? Fire back on the social media groups and, of course, the Gmail account, and let's discuss it. Alrighty, folks, next up on the agenda, man, this year's Arrowverse crossover is heating up. Okay, so last week we got a report. Tom Welling, the man, is back as Clark Kent in the upcoming Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover. That's awesome. Then we got a report by Deadline the next day. Erica Durance, who played Lois Lane in Smallville, is going to be back as Lois Lane. Awesome. Yes, as a huge fan of Smallville, I'm excited for this. Now, Erica Durance, of course, has been in the Arrowverse before, where she played Supergirl's mom in season 3. Now, I'm not sure if she's going to be doing dual roles, perhaps, because Brandon Roth also been cast as a Superman, kind of like a Kingdom Come version of him, they said, but he's also plays the Atom in the DC universe. So maybe he's doing dual roles, maybe she's doing dual roles. We'll just have to wait and see. But Erica Durance, Tom Welling coming back for the crossover makes me think we're getting a peek into the Smallville reality, and that's awesome in my opinion. Very awesome. Now, of course, you have other famous DC alumni that are going to be in this. Kevin Conroy, who famously voiced Batman in Batman the Animated Series, is going to be playing a Bruce Wayne. You got Black Lightning coming into this one. First time he's going to be in with the other characters in the CW. You have Burt Ward, who played Robin in the 1966 Batman show. He's going to be in there. Not sure who he's playing. And then, of course, you have John Wesley Shipp, who has been in the Arrowverse as Barry's dad, as Barry Allen of A Different Reality. And he's going to be in this as well, too. So that's awesome for that. Oh, he also played Jay Garrett, right? Yeah, he's Jay Garrett, too. So we got a lot of stuff. This crisis is heating up to be. It's going to be interesting. I'm super excited about it. Last year's crossover, I think it was Elseworlds, where Barry and Oliver switched. I wasn't, too thrilled with that one, but the one before that, Crisis on Earth X, was awesome. I remember it came out around the same time as the Justice League movie. I would much rather see that on a big screen than what the Justice League film was, but that's another discussion. I'm still not sold on Batwoman. Still not sold on it. So for that, she's going to be in the crossover. That's fine. But everyone else is going to be there. You got Arrow. You got Flash. You got Legends Tomorrow. You got Black Lightning. You got Supergirl. And now you got Batwoman. I'm just super excited about it. Now, as a Smallville fan, if you haven't checked out the season 10 comic book that was out, I go and check it out. I haven't read all of them actually. I've read most of them, and it's actually pretty good as far as continuation. I remember at the time when it came out, it was right on the time that DC did the new 52, and as a Superman fan, I wasn't digging the new 52 Superman. So at the time, the Smallville season 10 comic was actually my favorite Superman comic at the time. So there's that. But Tom Welling, I love him to death. Erica Durance, I used to have a huge crush on her. Okay, I thought she was so hot in Smallville. I mean, she's still an attractive woman, definitely. She's not on my 5 anymore. For a while, she was on my 5 celebrities I was allowed to sleep with. She's not on my 5 anymore. Her and Jennifer Love Hewitt both got crossed off this year, which is a little disappointing and sad, but you know what? It happens. So anyway, what do you guys think about this crossover coming up, Crisis on Infinite Earths? Because this is the big one, okay? Arrow is ending, and the Crisis will be kind of the end of that. And then also with the Flash, he's set to disappear. Now in the original Crisis on Infinite Earths, Supergirl died and Barry Allen the Flash died. Okay, I could see Oliver going, which is a big prediction given that the show is going to end, and also this whole universe started with him. And then of course Barry, because like I've been telling people, the show is called The Flash. It's not called Barry Allen. And in the comics, Barry Allen disappears and then Wally West takes over as the Flash. I don't see that happening, but it's a possibility. It could really, give the Flash a fresh take. I think if you did something like that, it'd be very interesting if that happened. I don't think it's going to happen, but you have your trinity in the Arrowverse of Oliver, Barry, and Kara. They're pretty much the cornerstone of it, much like how Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America were the cornerstone of the MCU. In the actual DC comics, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman were the cornerstone of the trinity of that. So in this one, you have those 3 characters. I think they're going to have a major effect on what happens in the Crisis. But I'm just excited for it, guys. I'm excited to do this on Infinite Earths, okay? So, of course, you have to have multiple realities. We've got 3 Supermans now to count, or 3 Clark Kents, I guess you would say. And I just can't wait to see where it goes. But fire back, of course. Let me know what you think about the casting. Are you a huge Smallville fan like I am? Are you excited to see Tom Welling and Erica Durance step back in these roles? Do you think they're going to bring or want to bring Michael Rosenbaum back? I would love to see Rosenbaum and John Cryer, because Cryer's Lex Luthor I wasn't sure about. Then I watched him do it, and I really enjoy it. So I would love to see him go against his other counterpart, Michael Rosenbaum. I don't think they can get Rosenbaum to shave his head for that part, but he could do a bald cap like he did for the Smallville series finale. Anyway, fire back, of course. Let me know what you think, guys. And the last story I have for today is some Batman casting. So, yesterday, The Hollywood Reporter is saying that Westworld's Jeffrey Wright might be in consideration for the role of Commissioner Gordon in the upcoming Matt Reeves Batman film starring Robert Pattinson. That's right, guys. Pattinson's in. Your little petitions didn't work. They will never work because those kind of petitions are stupid. And anyone who thinks Robert Pattinson is a bad actor and would not make a good Batman, I got about 4 films I want you to watch that's going to prove you wrong. So hit me up. I'll let you know what those are. But anyway, Jeffrey Wright, like I said, most known these days for Westworld. He was also in the Hunger Games films. Great actor. I can definitely see him as a Commissioner Gordon Presidents. Did I say presidents or presidents? Presents. That's what I meant to say, though. But he's, fine actor. I can definitely see him in that part. Says he's in talks, so nothing's solid at this point, but I think he'd be really good. Now, the other one that they're circling is Jonah Hill as a possible villain. Now, this one, I think I saw a source on The Wrap, which, Wrap is a pretty good source, but not as good as, say, Deadline, Variety, Hollywood Reporter. Those are kind of the main sources. If someone reports about that, you can definitely take it to the bank that it's about 95% sure it's, true. The Wrap's still a good source, but not as good as, say, the Hollywood Reporter. Anyway, he's looked at as a villain, possible Penguin, or maybe even Riddler. And that's one of those things where I'm not sure about that source, because some people are saying Penguin, some people are saying Riddler. Either way, Jonah Hill, he has become a fine actor. I mean, if you look at him at Wolf of Wall Street, which I'm not sure if he was got a nomination for Best Supporting Actor. I think he should have. And then, of course, in Moneyball, he did get a Best Supporting nomination in that. He was also good in films like War Dogs, and, of course, his comedic chops. We all know what he can do there. But with Jonah Hill, again, if he's in this, that's fine too. I can definitely see him in either a Penguin or a Riddler role. I think he's that fine of an actor in what he's become, so I'm okay with that. But again, I'm not sure how reputable that source is when it comes to Jeffrey Wright. I think it's a little more credible, and I can definitely see him being part of that. Same with the Jonah Hill. I can see him. He's a fine actor. I think he can do whatever part he lands. That's just what it comes down to, guys. When it comes down to Pattinson, too, I know the quality of actor that he is. I've seen him in other things besides Twilight. So when he was cast as Batman, I knew he could do a fine part, do a good job of it, because I know he's a good actor. And that's what it comes down to any of these parts, really, where, you can insert any good actor in any good role, and chances are it's going to turn out fine. So I trust Matt Reeves as a director. I think he knows what he's doing. Any of these actors are going to be great in their parts if they're actually casting them. So I'm cool with that, But let me know what you guys think, If you prefer that, you see somebody else, that's fine too. You're entitled to your own opinion. And, the actor you think might play a better Commissioner Gordon or a better Penguin or Riddler, you might be right about. But you know what? It's one of the things. We're just going to have to wait and see about that. But that is it for me today, guys. Of course, fire back on the social media groups and Gmail account. Let me know what you think about any of the topics I've talked about. I feel like I've covered a wide variety here. You can fire back on me on social media through Twitter and Instagram, Slim Dayspring 12. I'm always available there. Thursday, I usually do my show, of course. I don't know if I'm going to get to one. If I do, it's either going to be late or I might do one on Friday. But, of course, go out, enjoy your week, live your best life. And until then, guys, may the force be with us all.